Processors, chipsets, and SSD, Intel's plans for the next 6 months. The end of this year and the beginning of next year, it seems, will be rather strained for Intel. In particular, on October 5th, the company will announce the immediate availability of desktop processors Core i3/i5/i7-8000, Coffee Lake S. Next, in a few weeks, the chipmaker will introduce dual and quad-core 14nm SoC Gemini Lake, and in the first quarter of 2018 will expand the range of Core 8th generation desktop CPUs with additional models with 2, 4, and 6 cores. With the Intel Gemini Lake SoC, the Pentium Silver brand will debut. They will be marked with a quad-core chip J5005 for budget mini-PCs and laptops. The thermal package of this processor will be 10W. The same level of TDP, most likely, will be characteristic for both Celeron J4105 and Celeron J4005. The official announcement of the Gemini Lake family will be scheduled for one of the days from October 23 to November 7. This became known through the leakage of Intel's plans promulgated by the US resource Gamers Nexus. For obvious reasons, the public interest in expanding the processor family Intel Coffee Lake S for the LGA1151 platform will be higher than for the modest chips Gemini Lake. The announcement will take place in the first quarter of next year, presumably at CES 2018, January 9 to 12, or in March, after the Chinese New Year. Logically, the Lite will see additional models Core i5 and Core i3 with 6 and 4 physical cores respectively, as well as inexpensive CPU Pentium and Celeron. The appearance in the plans of the chipmaker 35W Coffee Lake S processors means the forthcoming release of economical models Core, Pentium, and Celeron with the suffix T, for example, Core i7-8700T. Such CPUs often have a well-organized passive cooling. Those who want to upgrade their PCs will receive a wide choice of motherboards based on Intel Z370 chipsets, announced the other day, H370, B360 and H310. The last three will not support the overclocking of processors by increasing the multiplier. In the second quarter of next year will come the turn of the sets of System Logic Q370 and Q360 for the corporate market segment. The solutions based on them will pay increased attention to network security and remote management of computer resources. According to the document below, on October 27 of this year Intel will present the Optane SSD 900P drives with 480 and 280 GB volumes. There are probably no typos here. On the new Optane we will stop in more detail, as the Dutch site GURU3D supplemented the original information about them, which included the name itself, the volume options and the release date. The Optane SSD 900P devices are made in the formats of 2.5-inch U.2 SSD and PCI Express expansion cards with a bandwidth of 32 Gbps, 4 lines of PCIe 3.0. At the heart of the drives is the memory of 3DX Point, which, together with the Intel proprietary controller, provides peak performance of 550,000 IOPS on reading and 500,000 IOPS when writing data. The maximum sequential read and write speeds are 2.5 GB/s and 2 GB/s, respectively. As you can see, the bandwidth limit of PCIe 3.0 x4 is not far off, and Intel, as well as motherboard manufacturers, will have to start implementing the PCI Express 4.0 interface with a 16 Gbps bandwidth on the ecosystem of the desktop and workstations in the foreseeable future. Line. The power consumption of the Intel Optane SSD 900P is quite high, it is 5 watts idle and 18 watts under load. Accordingly, these drives need either a heatsink, or the provision of heat transfer to the case, in the case of 2.5-inch devices. According to Intel, typical tasks that can be solved with 900P in the system are work with graphics and video, physical simulation, creation of images and high-resolution video clips, and resource-intensive games. Curiously, the Optane 900P are positioned as SSDs optimized for the universe of the space simulator Star Citizen. The very date of the announcement, October 27, as noted above, coincides with the thematic event Zeiteisenkon 2947, which will be held at the Capitol Theater in the German city of Frankfurt am Main. 5-year guarantee for solid-state drives. Today no one is surprised, however, Intel decided to emphasize in marketing materials its belief in the reliability of 900p, see above. Prices for 280 and 480 GB SSD promise to be not for the faint-hearted, because even for a modest 16 GB model of the first generation in the M.2 format in our retail, they ask from 3,011 rubles.